Everyone knows that a person born in the United States automatically becomes a citizen. The 14th Amendment does this by saying, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens. But this was written more than 100 years ago, written to address slaves after the Civil War. So with us here living in the modern day, we have modern day problems. So the law was passed for people like this, but now it's affecting our modern problems. And the big argument here is, does the 14th Amendment constitute giving citizenship to children of undocumented people? Well, the Supreme Court on April 1st, 2026 was faced with this question posed by the Trump administration. As we know, the Supreme Court is made up of 9 justices whose only job is to interpret the Constitution. Think of them as sort of a strict parent who has the final say in arguments between 2 siblings. So to reach a final decision, one side needs to have a majority between the justices. Okay, the main point in argument is the line, subject to the jurisdiction thereof. So that line is very vague, and it's almost intentional because these amendments were designed to be permanent, not so much perfect. Okay, with that...
Wait, but what does the phrase subject to the jurisdiction thereof actually mean?
Well, right now it basically means being under US law and its authority.
Choose your fighter!
The Trump administration argues that jurisdiction means full allegiance to the US, not just physically being on land where US laws are upheld. They say that being subject to law isn't enough. Citizenship depends on legal status, not birthplace, and people in the country illegally aren't fully loyal to the United States. Under this view, children of tourists, temporary visitors, and importantly, undocumented immigrants should not get citizenship.
The Citizenship Clause was adopted just after the Civil War to grant citizenship to the newly freed slaves and their children, whose allegiance to the United States had been established by generations of domicile here. It did not grant citizenship to the children of temporary visitors or illegal aliens who have no such allegiance. This conclusion reflects the original public meaning of the clause. When Congress used the term not subject to any foreign power in the Civil Rights Act of 1866, it rejected the British conception of allegiance. Senator Trumbull explained that subject to the jurisdiction thereof in the clause means not owing allegiance to anybody else. And in 1884, this court recognized that subject to the jurisdiction means owing direct and immediate allegiance. The clause thus does not extend citizenship to the children of temporary visa holders or illegal aliens. Unlike the newly freed slaves, those visitors lack direct and immediate allegiance to the United States. For aliens, lawful domicile is the status that creates the requisite allegiance, and the text of the clause presupposes domicile. For decades following the clause's adoption, commentators recognize that the children of temporary visitors are not citizens, and illegal aliens lack the legal capacity to establish domicile here. Unrestricted birthright citizenship contradicts the practice of the overwhelming majority of modern nations. It demeans the priceless and profound gift of American citizenship. It operates as a powerful pull factor for illegal immigration and rewards illegal aliens who not only violate the immigration laws but also jump in front of those who follow the rules. It has spawned a sprawling industry of birth tourism as uncounted thousands of foreigners from potentially hostile nations have flocked to give birth in the United States in recent decades, creating a whole generation of American citizens abroad with no meaningful ties to the United States.
The defendants argue that jurisdiction means being under US law and authority. They say that everybody in the US must follow the law, including undocumented people, and also our interpretation was already supported in Wonky Mark, and that citizenship has always been based on birthplace, not parental legal status.
Ask any American what our citizenship rule is, and they'll tell you, everyone born here is a citizen alike. That rule was enshrined in the 14th Amendment to put it out of the reach of any government official to destroy. When the government tried to strip Mr. Wong Kim Ark's citizenship on largely the same grounds they raised today, this court said no. The 14th Amendment's fixed, bright-line rule has contributed to the growth and thriving of our nation. It comes from text and history. It is workable, and it prevents manipulation. The executive order fails on all those counts. Swaths of American laws would be rendered senseless. Thousands of American babies will immediately lose their citizenship. And if you credit the government's theory, the citizenship of millions of Americans, past, present, and future, could be called into question. All of this tells us the government's theory is wrong.
Okay, first of all, I'm not here to change your opinion on anything. These are just my personal opinions. To me, they make birth tourism look like a new problem that's happening at a large scale, but the most generous of estimates of children born place the number at around 26,000 per year. And the defendants under Cecilia Wang kept bringing up the same point. Oh, this is how it always used to be. Annoyed me, so for that you get minus points. Anyways, 5 out of 10 for both sides. Okay, bye.